So when it comes to dieting, we often hear the word cholesterol.
Yeah, but do you really know what it means? We're taking a closer look in it during today's edition of Better Health.
It's time for Better Health, and I'm here with health expert Beth Coker with Asante. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
So this morning we are talking about cholesterol. So what is cholesterol?
Cholesterol is a fat-like substance in your bloodstream, and it can become very sticky and make some diversion in your arterial walls. And it is made up of two different components. LDL, which is your lousy cholesterol, it's that low-density lipoprotein, not the good one in your bloodstream, and also HDL, which is the happy or high-density lipoprotein. And the HDL really helps stick to the LDL to get rid of it out of the body and not stick to the arterial walls. And that third component of your cholesterol is triglyceride. That is the most common form of fat in the bloodstream. So 3 different numbers you need to look at when you're checking your cholesterol. And doctors and the CDC recommend that healthy adults have their cholesterol levels checked about every 4 to 6 years. Now, if you have a family history of heart disease and high cholesterol, you need to be checked a little bit more often. And that total number you're looking at for a good reading is less than 200.
So what are some of the factors that could impact your cholesterol levels?
Weight is a huge one. The higher the weight on your body, the obesity levels, that really raises your LDL and your triglycerides in the bloodstream. Another thing is the diet that you eat. So many Americans eat a diet high in saturated fat, trans fat, and cholesterol foods. So being mindful of the kind of diet you're eating and cutting back on those high fatty foods. Another thing is age and gender. The older we get, the more our cholesterol numbers start to rise. And women have a built-in preventive mechanism against high cholesterol before menopause, but after we pass through menopause, we're on the same level as men. Our LDL levels rise and HDL drop. The biggest gun in this one is our gene pool. If you have a genetic factor of high cholesterol in your family, you're going to have to be really on top of your cholesterol numbers.
So say a person has high numbers, any tips to lower those levels?
There are some things that we can do proactively. Obviously, you can't change your genetics, but the diet that you're consuming, you really have control over. You want to focus on a diet based with plant foods solely, vegetables, fruits, legumes, a lot of plant-sourced proteins like your quinoas, your tofu, things like that. Stay away from saturated fat foods, your high-fatty meats, your full-fat dairy products, creams, high-fat yogurts. Be mindful of how many eggs that you're eating. They are high in cholesterol, so be looking at that. Another thing that we can do is exercise. Studies show that exercise raises your HDLs. Those are your happy lipoproteins, and we want that number higher. So exercise can really help with that, and it lowers your weight, so you lower your triglyceride levels also. And the other thing that you can do is, if your doctor has prescribed a statin medication for you, which helps keep that cholesterol down, take your medication as prescribed by your doctor. It's important. And if you're smoking, stop smoking. Smoking raises your LDL. So there are some things that we can control in our daily activities and habits that can keep those cholesterol numbers at bay.
Absolutely. Those are some wonderful tips. Beth, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.